Armory Disc Golfers, welcome back to another video. Got a bit of a different one for you today in the office, in the lab, because we have a new Simon line release that I wanted to chat about, because this isn't just any normal Simon line release. Whatever a normal Simon line release even is, there's always like crazy stuff going on with these that always generate a lot of excitement for obvious reasons. This one is scandalous. We'll talk about it. So first off, a shout out to Eric Alexanderson for posting this to MVP fan page earlier today. Simon has been talking about how he wants a disc between like a hex and a pyro, and it looks like this is clearly their attempt at that. It's got that hex sort of look, a bit more of an aggressive wing than we'd see from a hex, and it's also got, as you can see, a bead. So this is what they were going for, and MVP also confirmed that. But what's really interesting is that they named it the Balance, which is already a PDGA approved disc by Essential Discs, and this was not this didn't go unnoticed by Essential Discs fans and other people too. They were getting upset about this. So scandalous. MVP is like pushing over smaller companies that already have names for discs, right? Well, we'll get to that. They have the name Balance, right? Well, all of this discussion drew a response from MVP, who posted a blog post to their website making a statement on the Balance. And they talked about like what the disc is, what they were aiming for, what they're going to do with it, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But the thing that we're talking about currently is this scandal about all of this, which is actually kind of funny to me, having read this, because I believe what MVP says. They said that they registered this trademark December of last year. Whenever they signed Simon, they started thinking through discs they wanted to make for him and the Simon line and everything, and so they trademarked this last year. And then whenever the PDGA approved the Balance in May, they reached out to Essential Discs, tried to find a solution. They were unwilling to budge, as they felt their situation gave them priority to the name. And this is hilarious, because like the way they worded this is just like they felt as though their situation gave them priority to this name. But MVP has the utmost confidence in their registered trademark rights. MVP is like saying, "Yo, we're gonna sue them," or like, I don't know about sue them, but like take them to court. There's clearly like some layer of threat here, which again is kind of funny to me. If MVP did actually trademark the name when they said they did, which I believe they did, because they post a link to the registered trademarks, and you can go look through the U.S. trademark history stuff. They did actually. They're not lying about registering it in December of last year. So they do have the legal rights to this. And there's been some controversy about that. Some people don't like the fact that MVP is registering trademarks for names in advance. I feel like that's just the obvious and smart business decision to make. If you're living more than like 6 weeks ahead, yeah, we've signed Simon Lizotte to a 10-year contract, so we're going to lock down some of these disc names that we're planning on producing over the next 10 years. I think that MVP is savvy. I don't think that they're scummy. But this intellectual property page, which is hilarious, again, that they linked on their blog. It's funny because they're like, okay, let's give you all a lesson in trademark law. Just, people getting upset at them or whatever. Down at the bottom of this, though, we see some obvious things. They have registered trademarks for Axiom, duh. Some things you would expect they would already have, like the Leading Edge or Voyager, which like the Voyager's their bag, I think. But we see some things like Balance that's pending registration. They have trademark bokeh, baka, however you want to pronounce it. It's not an English word, so I may be pronouncing it incorrectly. People have different ideas on that. That's a photography term. That's like sharp in focus, blurry background thing. That's a Simon line disc that we're going to see. That's cool. Lens cap and lens, clearly Simon line discs. Mirror, orbital. Like, why is orbital not already trademarked? That's kind of interesting to me. But these are Simon line discs that we can expect to see, and I think that we can expect to see some Simon line discs in Gyropalooza 2024, which is really exciting. So in this statement on the Balance, they said that they were going for a disc that was between the reactor and the pyro, And this is more similar to the runway in the pyro, meaning it's more overstable than they wanted it. It looks like they made a beaded pyro, you know. It's a Simon line pyro. Sign me up, you know, like a pyro by any other name still smells as sweet. So I'm excited about the Balance prototype. And the way they got around this is they didn't name it the Balance. They named it the Simon line Balance prototype. But I'm pretty sure whenever they make the final configuration of this disc, it will be called the Balance, and they're probably going to, I don't want to say throw their weight around, their legal right around to get that name, is my guess if I had to guess. Also, if I had to guess, they said that they didn't know like what to do with this mold because they really like the way the disc flies, but they don't want to release it as the Balance in the way that it is. So they're gonna keep the name, the Simon line Balance prototype, and they're going to release it in limited capacities. I would be willing to bet money these things are in Gyropalooza 2024 boxes. I posted a blog post to our website recently about the Gyropalooza 2024 boxes and like what we can expect in them and when we can expect them and stuff. Go check that out. We're really excited for Gyropalooza 2024. And I said that my prediction is that we're going to see a new Simon line disc in Gyropalooza 2024, which kind of makes sense. I mean, last year we saw the time-lapse released alongside the boxes. We saw the Detour inside the boxes. That was the first time the Detour had ever been released. That was a James Conrad disc. And so it makes sense that we would see another Simon line disc. If this is the only way that you're going to be able to get the Simon line Balance prototype disc, that's going to like really elevate the value of Gyropalooza 2024 boxes, because it's like an extremely limited release. It might be the only release of the Balance in the Gyropalooza 2024 boxes, or they might do it as one of their like pro shop specials or whatnot, where like they're not in every box, but it's one of the ones that you could get, might not, which makes them like fetch discs if you're familiar with trading card games or companies or whatnot. Either way that could go would be really cool. Really excited about Gyropalooza 2024. I'm excited to see whatever in the world the Balance ends up being. I mean, we know they say they want it between a reactor and a pyro. I think that we'll see this prototype in Gyropalooza boxes in some capacity. And I just don't think that we're going to see a Conrad release. They just came out with the Trail. So maybe it's just the Simon line Balance prototype we'll see in Gyropalooza boxes. That's still really cool. I'm really excited about Gyropalooza 2024. Don't forget about us whenever that drops. We'll be making sure to let everybody know. I want to do just a quick video. I've been talking for a little while now. It's a cool release. It's a fun time of year. I'm excited about it. Let me know what you're expecting to see in Gyropalooza 2024. Also, let me know how you feel about MVP taking this stance on trademark law and whether or not it's like within their rights, it's a good thing for them to do, or if you think that it's kind of like a power move or whatever for them to use trademark law in advance like this. I've made my stance on that very clear. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one.